Okay, this is Bobby Shields. We're back again with our knife here for Dogbone Knives that we have filed, cut out, and filed to shape. Now we're going to try to do a little bit of work on this, do some juking on this spine on the back side of this knife. I get it chucked up here in the vise. I'll come right back to you. Okay, I've got it chucked up here by vise, and I have marked it right here with our plunge line. This will be our first little notch, and I'm going to do it with this just a little 1/4 inch, 3/16 inch triangle file, and then I'll just turn it each time. And I want to go about 1.5 inches to 2 inches long. So there we are, about 2 inches. So that's plenty of room for your thumb, or if you're going to do it, run your finger up the blade to help you hold it, if you're using this knife for whatever chore that you want. And so let me go ahead and tighten everything down, and then I'll get set up a little bit, maybe over my shoulder where you could see me file. Alright, be right back. Okay, hopefully you can see me do this. I'll start here at the plunge line and make a file mark. Try to do it as close to 90 degrees as you can. And just file. Alright. Alright, I'll get a pattern across through here and I'll come back. Okay, this is my juking done, and while I had the camera off in the file, I went ahead and took this same file right here, took this same file and wrapped it with some 400 grit sandpaper. And then I went back and filed each one of these marks here, or sanded them, rubbed them down. I don't know if you can see that or not. This is what I call a progressive juking. Like that, starts out close together and gets further apart the further down the spine you go. It's for catching your thumb, and believe me, it will catch it. Or your finger, if you're just so used to, if you just want to use it, like that right there. Might put one more in it to help with the finger, but maybe one more here. But anyway, then since I put one more in it, I'll rechuck it, and then when I get done, I'll show you how to put it on my little wooden jig right there, a little stick of 2x2, and start filing. Or not filing, but sanding. Okay, I've added my one more little juking to it there, and this is progressive, and it's undercut. I don't know if you can see it real good or not, but it's undercut slightly toward the front, the point of the blade, which means that as you go this way, you feel it cutting, digging into your finger, help keep it from slipping in your thumb. And if you go out here, out on the blade there, you still got juking there to hold on to your finger. It should grab a glove good enough. right there, and your bar finger grabs pretty good. So anyway, anything to help keep the knife blade under control, the point, and so keep you from slipping, maybe getting hurt. So anyway, we'll get to putting it on a little 2x2 block and start sanding. Okay, I'm back. Right here is a diamond stone, or yeah, it's a knife sharpener that I got from Harbor Freight. And there was 3 of them in the pack. And what I do is I wrap sandpaper around them. They're good, they're flat, and plus these are diamond impregnated. You can use them later on to sharpen with. So I just put it in here like that, and I start out with 100, or in this case, yeah, 120 grit. So hopefully you can see that. And this happens to be from Jantz. This is supposed to be a non-filling sandpaper. It's supposed to last a long time. I don't know if it does any more than that, but I know it's a little bit cheaper buying it in bulk from Jantz than it is running to your local Home Depot or Lowe's Hardware. So anyway, now this is just plain old Windex. This is just a dollar store brand. I think it's $1 for a big old bottle, a quart. Okay, that's what I use as a lubricant, right there. And you just take your sandpaper and just back and forth. Now, the hardest part of this sanding is going to be right here at your plunge line. If you can see that, hopefully you can. If not, I'll bring the camera around right here. Or I said it could anyway. Right here, the plunge line. You cannot hardly get the sanding block in real tight with it. You have to go this way to start with, and then come back this way, and just do it very gingerly right there, and try to get it all sanded out, and really take time with your lace grits, your 6 and 800s, and 8s as much as I go, and I may not even go that, because like I said, I'm not going to do any mirror finishes on any of these knives anymore. So anyway, I'll get on it, and when I get this side buffed up, I'll show it back to the camera, and hopefully these videos will get better. The more I do, maybe the more I'll learn, the more comfortable I'll be. Well, anyway, I'll come back to you later. Okay, we're back. I've took this right here. If you can see how good you can see it, but it's pretty shiny. It's still, you can still see the scratches. There's a little reflectivity on it. This is to 600 grit. I'm not taking no real great pains with it about getting it super slick, because once it comes out of the furnace, it will look, when it comes out of the forge, it will look like this. All the forge scale and everything else on it like this. That's what it'll look like. And you'll have to knock all that off and do it all over again with sandpaper. Start at the very beginning. So anyway, so this is side that I've not touched. I don't know if, hopefully you can see this. Right here, I have not touched this other than it's just filed to shape. This side is to 600 grit. I done it in progressive from 120, 220, 400 to 600. Didn't take all that long, but still, I didn't get a whole lot of file marks in big deep grooves or anything to have to be filed out. But anyway, and yes, I did take my fingers. 8 of them, so I could sand it right there and help hold it in case I slipped on this point. It's dull, but it's still a point to be reckoned with. And maybe it'll, but anyway, it's pretty good. So when it gets done, and this is one of my finished ones right here. Okay, I don't know. Maybe if I zoom out or something right there. Like I said, this is going to be. I'm going to get better at this one of these days. It won't be today, but one of these days. Anyway, I've made it out of an old toe strap that I had laying around, and lined it with leather around the belt loop, and I put copper rivets in it, sewed it together with the embroidery thread, put a Velcro closure on it, and I try to, on most of them, include a ferro rod in with it. So when my cat, this one right here has got the hamon on it and everything. Right there you can see the line of the hamon. I just done it. I didn't really get a good pattern on it. Anyway, and I've got very little juking on here, but it's good enough. The handle is American walnut, and I made the mosaic pins that goes in there. So anyway, this right here, here's a little better side on it. This is the hamon knife that I was talking about. I believe it's in part 3, that helps fight rust. Okay, this one has been out and carried in the woods and has worked up at least one deer, if not 2, and it is scary sharp. My son put it back in the pouch when he done working on his deer, and he just told me, he said it was just too sharp. It went through there, it scared him. He just barely did put any pressure on it, and it went up through there, just ripped it right open. He says you had to put it up. But anyway, that's the way I like them. And I don't know if you can see that or not, but they're fine where I shave them off all the time. But anyway, that's just a little bit of hair. I mean, just from what I just pulled down through there. So anyway, I'm going to rebuff this blade just a little bit and probably stick it back in the ferric chloride and just kind of touch it up where got a couple little scratches. And this knife is for sale. Well, like all my knives except for the one that I carry, it has a bone handle, an elk handle we got off of a roadkill out in Colorado when we go elk hunting. But anyway, we look for them on the side of the road so I can make them. And that's the reason I call it dog bone. Right here is a mule deer. I don't know if you see if I can zoom it out right there. Now this one was definitely roadkill. I know. I roadkilled it. It jumped out in front of me while we was hunting in Colorado. Well, actually in Wyoming. It's where it jumped across, come up out of the road and right up over the guardrail and right in front of the truck there. So anyway, I have one side of it. The truck owner has the other side of it. So anyway, and I will be making handles out of this. And it's pretty good size. So on this one right here, I'll probably make a good big knife, like a machete type knife, just for this burr on this side right here. And from these antlers, I actually do make left-handed knives that will fit your left hand. I have 2 real good friends, probably best friends. They're both left-handed, and my son is left-handed, and my granddaughter is left-handed, but I've not got that affliction yet. But anyway, I do make them where they fit and feel good in your hand and everything. But sheaths is a different story. I'm just going to have to get somebody to make them for me and purchase them to put them in there. Right now, if I send one out, I do it in a sheath-like object, which is one like this. This happens to be a Cordura camouflage one from Smoky Mountain Knife Works in Gatlinburg, and I think they're about $4, maybe $5 now. And you can get them a little bit shorter or a little bit longer, and they'll handle, like I said, up to about 1 inch and a 1/4 inch and a half knife. Right there's an 1.5 inch knife that goes right in there. Like that. So be your preference if you want, if somebody wants to purchase this one. And you can reach me here in the comments, or you can email me at red93toy@yahoo.com. Put DB1. This is the model of this one. That's Dogbone 1. Okay, thank you. We'll get back to you. Like I said, these videos has got to get better. And when I do, next time we'll be drilling the handles and claying the blade. Alright, that'll be part 5.